Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to answer the question of what is proper audio gain staging? So let's pose the question, what is gain staging? So gain staging is the process of adjusting the volume levels of different parts of the audio chain. Well, I just want to talk about the importance of proper audio gain staging. If you don't do that, you could run into a lot of issues like distortion, clipping, which could ultimately lead in the audio sounding poor in quality, can lead to damaged equipment over time. So it's really important that we get the gain staging correct. So in front of us today, we have kind of a simple audio system. We have an amplifier, we have a speaker connected, and then we have our audio source, which today is going to be a computer. This may look different depending on what your system looks like. I have a computer routed from the dual RCA aux input of the amp. This is aux 1 going into this amplifier, and then we just have a single speaker. Typically, you want to start with your source. In this case, our source is the computer. And so roughly, I generally tell people to keep your source volume around 80%. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the computer here. I'm going to put the volume at about 80%. I know you can't see it, but you're just going to have to trust me. 80% is on here. At this point, I don't have my input aux 1 volume turned up or the master volume on the amplifier turned up. So I'm going to point those out. So here's aux 1. This correlates to my input on the back. This is the master volume here, which correlates to the overall output of your speakers from the amplifier. So if I just press play on the computer, which I'm going to do right now, no audio. I have volume on the computer, nothing turned up on the input, nothing turned up on the master. So I'm not going to get any kind of audio. So now, the second part of the gain staging after your source is going to be your input volume, which is going to be your aux 1 in this case. So let me turn up aux 1 about 50%, which is what I recommend starting out on. So I have aux 1 here. It's turned up to 50%. So I have my computer volume turned up to 80%, my source volume, my input volume turned up about 50%, still no audio. That's because my master's not turned up. So quick overview, 80% on my source, 50% on the input, and now you can get the volume level that you desire the rest of the way using the master. So I'm going to just turn it up a little bit at this point. All right, so nice calm music, not super loud, no distortion, no clipping, no odd sounds coming out. Now, I want to give you an example of what improper gain structure looks like. If I have my computer volume turned all the way down, I want you to see what happens. Nothing at all. The input volume is turned up, my master volume is turned up, no volume because my source volume is not turned up. So you can see how that makes a huge difference. So I'm going to go back up to 80% on my computer volume, got my volume back up. Okay, now I'm going to do something crazy, which I do not recommend. I'm going to turn up the computer volume all the way up to 100%, and then I'm going to jam my master volume, and I want you to see what happens on the front of the amplifier. Okay, so you can see how the amplifier started clipping. That clip indicator started blinking amber red, which is not good. You don't want it to clip. You're going to cause problems over time. You're going to damage the equipment, so definitely do not recommend doing that at all. Just wanted to show you what improper gain staging looks like. This is kind of a quick overview. Just want to give you an idea of where to start, show you that it's not as simple as just plugging in your source, turning up the master volume, and you're good to go. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us.